Well, thank you very much, my big brother. My name remains Senator Akinyelure, representing Ondo Central in the next Senate of the Night Assembly. And by the benevolence of the leadership of the Senate of Night Assembly, I chair the Committee on Ethics, Privilege and Public Petitions. As one of the special committees of the Senate, we have seen a lot, and we believe that the Night Senate have done a good job under the leadership of the distinguished Senator Lawan, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You see, during the period of we were sworn in on 11th June precisely in 2019. Today is 19th of April 2023. Virtually, we have less than 2 months to end this particular session of the Senate. The Senate of the Night Assembly under Lawan, like I said, he is the first among equals of the Night Assembly. And I want to use my position as the Chairman Senate Committee on Ethics, Privilege and Public Petition, the Ombudsman of the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria under Lawan, to congratulate all the 109 members of the Night Senate because we have done a good job. You see, the Petroleum Industrial Act has been a subject of controversy over the years, from the 5th Senate to 7th Senate, 7th Senate to 9th Senate. They couldn't pass it to law. But under the distinguished Senator Lawan, and by the cooperation of the executive arm of government under the leadership of our president, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he has done a good work. We were able to get this thing done. We were able to pass it to law. The provisions of PIA has attracted a lot of operators into the industry, investors into the industry, to ensure that, the host communities, relations, and all the other things that have become a controversy over the years were put to an end. There were hopes that passing this Petroleum Industrial Act to law, or bill to law, is one of the significant achievements of the next Senate of this assembly. When you look at again, shortly after we resumed work, the same Senate was able to quickly pass to law the deep offshore and inland basin share contract into law. Billions of revenue that were lost over the years now come back to the covers of the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is the work, some of the laws that the Senate was able to pass into law. Then also, when you look at the budget cycle of the Federation over the years, it has been at times budget are not passed until mid-year, June, July of the following year. But under the next Senate, we magnanimously work together and work with the executive of government to ensure that the budget cycle of the Federation is returned from January to December on a yearly basis. The next Senate has worked tremendously to ensure that budgets are normally passed on December every year. And Mr. President, in his magnanimous, in a way, he has always signed it to law, latest in January. So the budget cycle has also remained January to December. This has given a lot of, value addition to the country as a whole, because over the years, you have chains of ongoing projects here and there, because the budget are not passed on timely. budget of years, 8th Assembly, 7th Assembly were passed maybe at times June, July, the following year. So releasing funds, for that the budget cycle would have ended, and you find out that money budgeted for are not implemented. That's why we found, according the news and crime of Nigeria today, you find a lot of ongoing projects, abandoned projects, that government money, taxpayer money have been budgeted for, but there were no releases to accomplish all these projects. But under the next Senate, of which I'm a member, we have worked together as family to ensure that we are elected representatives of the people in the legislature, and that we are here to add value to the country, to knock doors for people, to ensure that things are done normal ways. But we have not achieved 100% success, but there are do and don'ts too. There are a lot of things we do as a legislature that we made law, we passed resolutions, but executive arm of government will not implement it. If we are democratically elected, and we are the mouth of all the Nigerians who voted for us here, by the time we make it in the legislature and pass resolutions and send to executive arm of government, they don't implement it. At times they circumvent it. They don't allow it to work. Part of such assessment is that of a PIA. The petroleum industry has good intentions. If you look at the first page of this day today, you find that the operators in the industry seek alignment between NUPRC, that is Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Act. These are the two laws we pass, and for oil regulations. Before that, there were about 25. There were about 25 resolutions of the Senate of the 9th Assembly under Lawan, when a ad hoc committee to investigate oil lifting, theft, and impact on the petroleum production and oil revenues found out that billions of revenue are lost in the industry. So Lawan is a magnanimous way to ensure that this is put this act is put to an end. That is to reduce the level of oil theft in Nigeria. The Senate passed law, but laws are not obeyed by the executive government. There were contradictions, circulars issued by the Honorable Minister of Petroleum, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. He issued a contradicting, circular to give the functions of NUPRC to Midstream Regulatory Authority. Therefore, that particular circular was done in such a way that no one of them will be in charge. That is, no one of the regulatory authorities created by PIA, NUPRC, and Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority, that none of them will be in charge. The function conferred on NUPRC by PIA were given to the Downstream Petroleum Authority. And therefore, this has led to billions of theft in the industry. Next Senate, we have good intention. President Muhammadu Buhari has good intention by signing PIA to law. But the operators, who call them executive arm of government, especially the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources, State for Petroleum Resources, who issued a contradicting circular, a somersaulting circular, had not allowed NUPRC to what? To operate the PIA, Petroleum Industry Act. Civil servants only believe in circulars. When the minister use circular, they use the circular to circumvent the law. These are areas I believe the third Senate should look into, and the incoming president of the nation should look into this area to ensure that the PIA is what is strictly observed, is strictly implemented, to ensure that billions of dollars lost on daily basis is safe. If we allow PIA to take its normal course, what do you mean borrowing money to say we want to borrow money to finance our budget? Because 70% of our resources have been stolen through crude oil theft. It is even a double loss now, because those operators, they don't allow, the minister, he used contradicting circulars. Contradicting circulars, contradicting section 7EE, 8D, 32, section 32, subsection 2, and section 174, subsection A of petroleum industry. They use circular to jettison it. And this is what we are calling Mr. President Buhari, before handing over on 29 June, to call the Minister of State for to order to allow PIA take its normal course, to allow the provisions of PIA assigned to law by him to be implemented, so that the resources of Nigeria that is lost will come back to ministry. So we will not be looking for money, borrowing money to finance our budget any longer. These are syndicates who believe that they are in that particular industry to ensure that no amount of law made by National Assembly will be obeyed, that their normal circulars will circumvent the law. But Nigeria is not a banana republic, and therefore we have laws, rules, and regulations guiding us. By establishing those two authorities, let those who are in midstream and downstream concentrate on what the law asks them to do, and allow the NUPRC, the downstream, the upstream sector, regulate the activities of the sector in line with provisions of PIA. This is our observation. I'm the chief ombudsman of the Senate. I read a lot, and I believe as we speak today, you can see the front page of this particular paper. I got it this morning. I was amazed that despite the 25 resolution of the Senate, the executive will still feel that they will not implement the law. These resolutions are in line with the provisions of the law that will pass to law, that President Muhammadu Buhari signed to law. And some few individuals believe in their government, and they believe that they can circumvent and steal the resources of the whole country. See, our two agencies were being disgraced at international level. That's it. Operation seek alignment between NUPRC and Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The PIA gave them different functions, but circular from minister overlap their assignment. There's no way we can achieve any significant growth in this country if laws of the land are not fully implemented. Nigerian Senate under Amalawa has done its own best. We have made a law that will enable Nigeria to wake up. We have made law that will enable Nigeria to even have positive budget without borrowing. But few individuals who believe that this country is their own property, they use ordinary circular to circumvent the law. These are areas I want the Nigeria to know about, that the relevant agencies should now wake up. Nigeria should not be treated as a banana republic. The Honorable Minister, who believe, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, who believe that particular position is going to is forever. It's transient. He will leave the opposition tomorrow.
Maybe when he becomes the governor of Bayelsa, because I understand you want to contest for Bayelsa governorship. You will leave this position tomorrow, somebody will come and query your activities. It is better for them to change and allow the law passed by the next Senate under Lawan to be in operations so that we will have money to finance our deficit budgets that has risen to trillions now, over 20 trillions budget deficit in this country. So Lawan and this next Senate have done their best, and I believe that those coming behind, they will also open their eyes and ensure that laws passed by the National Assembly are what? Are implemented. And resolution passed by Senate and House of Rep, in line with the law, should be obeyed by the executive arm of government. The executive, they don't contest election. They are appointee of Mr. President of the nation. They don't owe any duty. They don't owe the electorals any other than to what? To obey the law passed by elected representatives of the people in the legislature. Nobody is above the law. If you say you can do it and go away with it today, you will be called upon when you are out of office to come and answer your query. This is the way you have misused the position given to you by Mr. President to circumvent the law made by National Assembly. Today, we are sad. I'm in my office in the National Assembly today. Others are enjoying all over the place, but I'm the chief ombudsman of the Senate. I read this in, and I believe that I should address the press on this particular. That Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources, Honorable Minister of State, he should be called to order by Mr. President. That resolution of Nigeria should be obeyed, and therefore there must be distinction between the midstream and downstream sector and the functions of NUPRO, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. They have distinctive function under the act, and no amount of circular can supersede the law of the land, because Mr. President Mohammed signed this into law. And nobody has brought any amendment to the National Assembly to give the functions of NUPRC to Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority. This one is a somersault of the law. They use circular to somersault the law for the detriment of the whole country, for benefit of few individuals who form syndicate to steal our oil. We are saying this to the whole Nigeria, and we want the Honorable Minister, wherever he is, Minister of State, wherever he is, to immediately resign this decision of asking Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to continue to do the functions of NUPRC. Let there be distinctive functions so that the advanced category declaration that is empowered to be inspected and monitored by NUPRC are not given to the downstream regulatory authority. When you ask the downstream to be issuing permits to operators, or those who want to come and know that you ask your directives through circular, allow downstream to issue permit to those who are coming to load, and they don't know the volume they want to load. Just issue permit. That permit is an indirect fraud against Nigeria. Fraud. And that act should stop. That is the advice of this committee. I chair this committee of ethics. I am the ombudsman of the Senate of Federal Republic. I knock door for those who cannot knock door. Therefore, I'm knocking door for the whole Nigeria here. Minister of Petroleum State for should withdraw that circular of asking Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory to be issuing permits for loading our crude oil to an agency that is not empowered to know what is the volume being loaded.
This is a statutory responsibility of a Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. They are the one who can know the volume. What is the volume of crude oil being loaded on daily basis? At the end of the month, if the Mr. President called it, what is the volume sold? He will be able to give account. But as it today, none of them could tell us what is the volume of crude oil that is being loaded from our shores because of one circular of one man to cause confusion. And that is the circular issued by Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. Nigeria is calling on you, Mr. Honorable Minister, to come and withdraw this obnoxious circular that is making people to come and load our oil without any record. The chairman said the committee on regulatory will be mandated to write them, to come and tell us what is the level of compliance with this 25 resolution passed by the Senate before the end of this session. Tomorrow, one will resume. I'm going to, as the chairman of this committee, I'm going to invite legislators. Right, Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources on this matter. Right, Bureau of Public Procurement. Right, the CCE of UPRC and that of the chief executive of Nigeria Midstream and Downstream to come and explain to what extent has this resolution been complied with. These resolutions are in line with the provisions of the law of the land. Why are you doing something else? Ordinary appointee of Mr. President. They are not democratically elected. And if they are found wanting, it's not too late for Mr. President to sack them. Because they are painting Mr. President a bad image. That Muhammad Buhari is a good man. The man has good intention. But those who are working for him, they are the one blackmailing Mr. President. Before he leaves position in the next 1 and a half months, let him do the needful and tell the whole Nigeria that it's not part of this syndicate that is siphoning our money. Lawan and the next day we have done our own, and I believe that Nigeria will know that we have done our own. We are just to make law. But implementation of the law is given to the executive of government. Well, I see, on the assumption of this particular assembly, you know that the 8th assembly was a state of war between the executive and the legislative arm of government. The then president of the Senate of the 8th assembly, the single senator Olubukola Saraki, is a man of honor, a man of integrity. He is a politician to the core. He hates nonsense. He disagrees on issues that will not be in the interest of the nation. But when 21st are fighting, the grass suffers. When we resume this assembly, we review it. We are representing the grassroots people here. We decided we are not going to be fighting the executive arm of government because we are members of the same government. The government that will produce positive things, that will enable the grass to grow, we represent that one in the next Senate, in the next Assembly. We resolve that any policy of government that will be a value addition to the people, irrespective of political affiliation, we will support Mr. President. We have been supporting Mr. President because Mr. President have good intentions. He brought bills that will add value to Nigeria to the Senate. And we pass it with accelerated assent. But there's one that people have not made him to sign to law. It is the HND BSc dichotomy bill. This is a bill that the next Senate considered very important to rules of the whole Nigeria. That HND BSc dichotomy should not be in place we want to grow technologically, otherwise. The next Senate passed this bill to law. HND BSc dichotomy bill. In the national youth service, they are mobilizing the national youth. Nobody discriminates against them there. They go there as young youth of Nigerians, just leaving university and polytechnic, to go and serve their fatherland for 1 year. They go there, nobody discriminates against them. When they go there, they add their value to the country. Many polytechnic graduates there will get certificate of commendation. Some universities get certificate of commendation. At that level, nobody discriminates. But when they enter federal service, you know, say the HND people are substandard to graduates. That is the cause of what? Problem of this country in civil service. But when you look at it, like I said, I am an HND graduate of Yaba College of Technology. At the time I was seeking admission to university. I got admission at University of Benin to read accountancy BSc. I also got admission at Yaba Tech to read OND accountancy because I want to become a professional accountant, that I'll be able to practice it as a profession. So, accountancy is best taught in the polytechnic. I should go to the polytechnic. In my own levels, I have 8 decision 1 credit at a sitting. Almighty WAEC. That the same university graduate who got about physical biology, mathematics, he went to university to go and read medical doctor. When you want to go to be MBBS, you go to university to go and do MBBS. But I choose to be an accountant. I want to be a professional accountant. If you are a PhD accountant today, you have PhD accounting today, and you don't have a license of ICANN or ANA, you cannot sign account. You can never practice accountancy. I wanted to practice. That's why I went to the polytechnic. Why must me go to polytechnic to go and read a course that I can practice to add value to this course? Why must it be used against me in the public service? So this next Senate looked at it. If I was the sponsor of the bill, and the Nigerian Senate embraced it, and they passed that bill to law that there shouldn't be discrimination between HND and BS, and for the purpose of employment in any part of Nigeria, for the purpose of employment. If tomorrow an HND graduate says he wants to go and read PhD in law, he has to go and enroll again. Are you getting my? To go and read law and pass through the rudiment of law. Because you don't do law in the polytechnic. So, when you talk about equality or no equality, for the purpose of it, it should be treated, and this Senate magnanimously passed the law. But those who are in government, in the executive, they convince me not to sign the bill to law. This is a bill that affects the whole Nigerian youths. President Muhammadu Buhari, you are our father. Nigerian youths are waiting for you. A lot of them have been disarmed. They have been demotivated to add value to this economy because of the decision between HND and BSc. So take it upon yourself, Mr. President of the nation. Sign HND BSc dichotomy to law, so that the whole Nigeria will be remembered. You to be remembered for good for life. That's one of the good things the Senate has done. But people who are operationalizing the law, they will convince Mr. President not to sign. This bill, many executive bills that were brought to the National Assembly. When we see good in it, we support Mr. President, we pass it, and we get the House concurrent. The whole Nigeria passed the law. They said, don't discriminate between HND and BSc. They are all Nigerians. They are sponsored by poor parents. They should be given the same platform to work in federal government establishment. They should be given equal basis to work and for them to be promoted to any level in the service, in line with the value addition to the economy of Nigeria. That one is very fundamental for the sources of this particular administration and some of the particular Senate. That it is not Senate that pass it to law, and Mr. President sign it to law for implementation. And finally, Mr. President, this cooperation will remain till the end of this administration, till the end of this particular Senate, will remain committed to Mr. President Buhari's good intentions to add value to Nigeria. And we are advising the 10th Senate to pick up where we have started. They should ensure that the policies, the laws that National Assembly passed under Amalawa become a continuation. They should also ensure that budget cycle remain January to December. And I believe that the new president coming will see reason why the points made today must be brought to play so that Nigerians will enjoy being the Nigerians. There was a time during our youth, nobody get visa to go to London. Nobody get visa to go to America. Our naira was valued more than dollar at that time. Why are we returning us to slave-free, a slave-trade country? The new administration coming in, do something about it so that Nigeria can be happy to be Nigerians. All over the world today, if you go to America, the best doctor, the best clinic they are Nigerians. They fly away, all our good brains fly away to other countries. Why are they not doing it in Nigeria? Because the environment doesn't allow them to have it done here. We should start bringing them back by doing policies that will bring all our people down, that let them be proud to be Nigerians. As I am proud to be a Nigeria, I am proud to be Nigeria because Nigeria is the best country to me all over the world. That is my position.